This is a story about gratitude. It was the night of my 30th birthday. And as it happens, I was a senior resident at Yale at the time, and everybody was out of town. So they pulled me in to function as a junior resident. So I was basically in-house, on call. So I was already tired. I was already miserable because I was running around in a junior resident role. And I was particularly miffed because it was my birthday. So around 2 o'clock in the morning, I just finished my work and I got back to the call room. I'm about to lay down when I get paged by a nurse to put in an IV. Normally, that was her job to do, but the patient was a rather large patient. He had poor veins and they needed somebody to put in an IV, and I was the only one available. So now I am quite miserable and I'm angry and I'm feeling sorry for myself. So I walk into the room with the patient, and the patient was somebody that had fallen, fractured his neck, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. The next day he was going in for surgery to fuse his neck, although he would not be able to walk again. He couldn't feel anything in his arm, so we stood there chatting while I was putting in one IV after another, and I was hooking him up to the IV bag when he said, "You know, Doc, it's really strange. I'm gonna get surgery for my birthday." And I looked at him and I said, "Wait, is your birthday today?" And he said, "Yes, it is. After midnight, yes, it's my birthday." I said, "That's funny. It's my birthday too. How old are you?" And he said, "I'm turning 30. At that moment, I stepped back. I just thought of it. 30 years prior, him and I were born on the same day. I in Bucharest, Romania, him in Connecticut, and our paths had not crossed for 30 years, except on that night, on our birthdays. But I was going to walk out of that room, no matter how tired or miserable I was. I was walking out. He was going to get surgery, and hopefully he was going to recover some of his function back, but his path would be quite different than mine. I decided to put away all the hard feelings, all the built-up anger, even the fatigue. No matter what, I always knew that as bad as it gets, it can always get worse. I felt fortunate to be where I was. I felt fortunate to be able to take call for my birthday when I was 30 years old and be healthy and walk out of that hospital the next day. I've always remembered that story. And when things get rough and when there are things that I cannot have or I cannot do, I always think of that.